The Texas sun beats down like a hammer on an anvil, turning the sprawling acres of Javier Reyes Ranch into a golden sea of dry grass and dust. He leans against the wooden fence, calloused fingers wrapped around a sweating bottle of beer, watching his horses graze in the distance. This land, his land, has been in his family for 3 generations. A quiet pride swells in his chest. He fought hard to keep it. His phone buzzes. A text from his sister. *HOA meeting tonight. Karen's on the warpath again. Javier exhales through his nose. Of course she is. Karen Whitmore, president of the Hollow Creek Homeowners Association. A woman who wears her entitlement like perfume. Strong, suffocating, impossible to ignore. Ever since Javier moved back to take over the ranch, she's had opinions. About his fence line, about the horses, about the aesthetic of the neighborhood. As if a black man owning 50 acres is ruining her view. The first time they met, she'd pulled up in her pearl-white Lexus, fake smile plastered on her face like cheap wallpaper. "We just want to make sure everyone's property values stay high," she'd said, eyes flickering over his work boots, his faded jeans, the way his skin darkened under the sun. Some of us have invested a lot here. Javier had known exactly what she meant. He takes another swig of beer, the condensation dripping onto his wrist. The ranch is his sanctuary, his legacy. But lately it's felt like a battlefield. A sharp crack splits the air. Javier's head snaps up. One of his horses rears, spooked. Then he sees it. A gleaming silver SUV parked inside his property line, right by the old oak tree. The door swings open, and Karen steps out. Crisp linen pants and oversized sunglasses, like she's strolling onto a country club lawn instead of trespassing. His jaw tightens. "Javier!" she calls, waving a manicured hand like they're old friends. "We really need to talk about your fence. The one she keeps complaining about. The one she insists is non-compliant." Javier pushes off the fence, his boots kicking up dust. Something in his gut coils tight. This isn't about a fence. This is a warning. Javier's boots crunch against the dry earth as he strides toward Karen. His pulse is slow, steady drumbeat in his ears. The horse, his horse, a chestnut mare named Luna, snorts and tosses her head, still unsettled. Karen doesn't even glance at the animal. Her eyes are fixed on the fence line, lips pursed like she's just bitten into something sour. "Javier," she says again, voice dripping with that saccharine politeness that never reaches her eyes. "I left you messages. You really should check your emails." He stops a few feet away, crossing his arms. "I don't answer to you, Karen." She lets out a laugh, light, airy, the kind that makes his skin prickle. "Oh, but you do, sweetie. HOA bylaws. We all agreed to them." The way she says "we" grates against his nerves, like she's speaking for the whole neighborhood, like she's speaking for him. Javier forces his voice to stay even. "You're on my property." She waves a hand, as if swatting away a net. "I was just taking a look. That fence is 6 inches too high, Javier. It's against regulations." He stares at her. The fence has been there for years. His abuelo built it himself. But ever since Javier took over, suddenly, it's a problem. "Show me the rule," he says. Karen's smile doesn't falter, but her fingers tighten around her clipboard. It's in the HOA handbook. Page 42. Then bring me the handbook. A flicker of irritation crosses her face. You were given a copy when you moved in. He was buried under a stack of paperwork in tiny print, rules upon rules designed to suffocate. He'd skimmed it, tossed it aside. Now he wonders if that was her plan all along. Luna stamps her hoof, ears pinned back. Javier doesn't blame her. The air feels thick, charged, like the moment before a storm. Karen sighs, as if he's the one being unreasonable. Look, I don't want this to be difficult. Just trim the fence, and we can all move on. Javier's gaze flicks past her, to the SUV idling on his land. The engine's still running, like she expects this to be quick, like she expects him to fold. His phone buzzes again. Another text, his neighbor, Ray. Asterisk saw Karen roll up. You good? Asterisk. Javier doesn't answer, because suddenly he's noticing things. The way Karen's eyes keep darting past him, toward the back pasture. The way she's standing just a little too close to the old storage shed. Like she's not just here for the fence. Like she's looking for something else. His fingers curl into his palms. Javier doesn't blink. You need to leave. Karen's smile stiffens. Asterisk. Excuse me? Asterisk. You heard me. He steps closer, his shadow stretching long across the dirt between them. You don't have permission to be here. That's trespassing. Her laugh is sharp, brittle. Asterisk. Oh, Javier. Don't be dramatic. I'm here as HOA president. This is official business. Asterisk. Official business doesn't mean you get to waltz onto my land whenever you feel like it. His voice is low, controlled, but the edge in it could cut steel. Karen's nostrils flare. She pulls out her phone, thumb hovering over the screen. Asterisk. I could call the sheriff right now. You're being very aggressive. Asterisk. The unspoken threat hangs in the air between them. A big black man, raising his voice at a white woman in the middle of nowhere, Texas. Javier knows how that story ends. His jaw clenches. Then asterisk, a sound. Asterisk. A metallic clang from the direction of the storage shed. Javier's head snaps toward it. Karen doesn't even flinch. Too calm. What was that? He demands. Probably just a raccoon, she says breezily, but her fingers tighten around her phone. Javier doesn't wait for another lie. He strides past her, boots kicking up dust. Behind him, Karen's heels click frantically against the hard earth. Asterisk. Javier, wait. Asterisk. He ignores her. The shed door is slightly ajar. It wasn't when he left this morning. He yanks it open. Inside, a man in a cheap polo shirt jerks upright, guilt flashing across his face. He's holding a clipboard, a camera dangling from his neck. The shed's contents, old tools, feed bags, a locked gun cabinet, have been shifted, inspected. What the hell? Javier turns slowly. Karen has caught up, her breath coming fast, but her voice is pure ice. Asterisk. This is a routine property inspection. HOA bylaws, Section 9. Asterisk. Bullshit. Javier's voice cracks like a whip. You sent someone to snoop through my things? The man in the polo shirt, some HOA lackey, shrinks back. Karen lifts her chin. Asterisk. We have the right to ensure compliance. Your livestock are a liability, Javier. And frankly, this whole ranch is an eyesore. Asterisk. Eyesore. The word lands like a punch. His abuelo's hands had built this place. His mother had fought to keep it when the banks came knocking. And now this woman, with her pearl-clutching HOA rules, thinks she can call it an eyesore? Javier's phone buzzes again. Right. Bro, you need to see this. Followed by a photo, a screenshot from the neighborhood Facebook group. Karen's name at the top. Asterisk. Concerned about recent activity at the Reyes property. Possible code violations. Unsafe conditions. Will be escalating to county authorities if not resolved. Asterisk. The comments beneath it are worse. Asterisk. That place has always been a problem. Asterisk. Asterisk. Someone needs to clean it up. Asterisk. Asterisk. Why does he even need all that land? Asterisk. Javier's blood runs cold. He looks up, meeting Karen's smug gaze. She knows. She knows what she's doing. This isn't about a fence. This is a campaign. And he's just the target. The polo shirt guy clears his throat. Ma'am, we should probably leave, Javier growls. Karen's smile doesn't waver. Asterisk. We'll be back with a formal notice. And Javier. Asterisk. She tilts her head. Saccharine sweet. Asterisk. You might want to cooperate. It'd be a shame if something happened to this place. Asterisk. The threat lingers like gun smoke as she turns on her heel, her lackey scrambling after her. The SUV door slams. The engine roars. Dust swirls as they peel away. Javier stands there, fists clenched, the Texas sun burning down on him. Rey's next text comes through. "They're coming for you, man." Javier exhales. The county sheriff's cruiser rolls up Javier's driveway at exactly 10:03 a.m., kicking up gravel beneath its tires. Javier watches from the porch, coffee in hand, face unreadable. He'd been expecting this. Karen's Lexus follows close behind, her smug silhouette visible through the windshield. She steps out in crisp white slacks and oversized sunglasses, lips pursed in that self-satisfied smirk. This is it, her posture screams. Checkmate. Sheriff Dawson, a thick-necked man with a permanent sunburn, tips his hat as he approaches. Mornin', Javier. Got a complaint here from Ms. Whitmore. Javier takes a slow sip of coffee. Let me guess. My fence. Karen steps forward, clutching a manila folder like it's a holy text. Not just the fence. Multiple violations. She flips it open with a flourish. Unauthorized livestock, improper land use, failure to comply with HOA aesthetic standards. The sheriff scratches his jaw, glancing at Javier. That true. Javier sets his mug down with deliberate calm. Sheriff, you've known my family 30 years. You telling me we suddenly ain't compliant on land we've owned since your daddy was in diapers? Dawson shifts uncomfortably. Well, now, Karen here says. It's Ms. Whitmore. She snaps, then smooths her tone. And this isn't personal. It's about community standards. She turns to Javier, saccharine sweet. We've tried being nice. But if you refuse to cooperate. She gestures to the sheriff. Well, the law is the law. A beat of silence. Then, Javier laughs. A deep, genuine chuckle that makes Karen's eye twitch. What's so funny? She hisses. Javier reaches into his back pocket. Karen tenses as if expecting a weapon. But what he pulls out is a small black badge. The sheriff's eyebrows shoot up. Karen's face goes slack. Funny thing, Javier says, flipping the badge in his fingers. Turns out, sneaking onto federal property to inspect it? That's a felony. Karen's mouth opens, closes. What? Javier nods toward the shed. That storage unit you were so interested in? Holds evidence. Active investigation. And you? He steps closer, watching the blood drain from her face. Just contaminated a crime scene. Sheriff Dawson whistles low. Goddamn. Karen's voice climbs an octave. That's impossible. You're lying. Javier pulls out his phone, taps the screen, and turns it toward her. Security footage, clear as day, shows Karen's HOA lackey rifling through the shed, handling locked containers. See that. Javier points. That's chain of custody broken right there. Which means you just compromised a 2-year narcotics operation. Karen stumbles back as if struck. Narcotics? No, this is a ranch. Front operation, Javier says mildly. Hence the low profile. He turns to the sheriff. Dawson. You know how the feds feel about interference. The sheriff pales. Hell. Karen's perfectly manicured hands flutter like panicked birds. This is a setup. He's bluffing. Javier cocks his head. Call Assistant Director Ruiz. San Antonio Field Office. Tell her Agent Reyes needs a cleanup crew. He smiles, all teeth. Oh, and Karen? You might want to lawyer up. For the first time, Karen Whitmore has nothing to say. The sheriff removes his hat, wiping his brow. Ma'am, I reckon you oughta come down to the station. Javier watches as the reality crashes over her. The HOA queen, dethroned. And the game is only just begun.